Hi, my name is Ksenia Turkova. I'm a mother of a 12-year-old. My son was adopted in Russia in 2010. I would love to adopt more children from Russia, but now as a wife of an American citizen and even as a green card holder, I'm not allowed to do it. The Russian government won't let me. And I will explain why. Today is December 28th, and in this video, I want to tell you about that day and what it means for Russia, for America, and now for Ukraine. 10 years ago, on December 28th of 2012, they adopted a law banning adoption for American citizens. It was a political decision. They did it in response to the adoption of the Magnitsky Act. This act, signed into law by President Barack Obama, intended to punish Russian officials responsible for the death of Russian tax lawyer Sergei Magnitsky in a Moscow prison in 2009. In Russia, they called the adoption ban a symmetrical answer, although it was not symmetrical at all. They just punished innocent children. Not just punished, they literally killed some of them, because some children with certain diseases who were supposed to get treatment in the United States were separated from their future parents and died in the orphanages. Last year, I recorded an interview with the American woman Katrina Morris. In 2012, she was about to adopt a girl with Down syndrome from Russia. Katrina and Stephen Morris flew to Russia to meet Lera. After that visit, they filed all the documents in court about the adoption. It only remained to correct some little things in the papers by December 30th. But on Lera's birthday, December 19th, the Morris family learned about Dima Yakovlev's law. Vladimir Putin signed it right before the new year, and the adoption never happened. For the next 9 years, Lera stayed in the orphanage. Nobody in Russia wanted to adopt her. Katrina sent her pretty dresses every Christmas, and the group of volunteers helped her to pass it to Lera. The girl almost lost hope to find a family. Considering her state of health, she was supposed to go to the special internat for the rest of her life. But last year, a miracle finally happened. Russian woman Tatiana adopted Lera. But hundreds of children like Lera had forever lost their chances to get adopted. In general, according to the Russian independent media Важные истории, every year fewer and fewer children in need of parents find their families. This figure has dropped to the lowest in the last 9 years. Children with special needs or disabilities have been most affected by restrictions on foreign adopters. The problem of secondary orphanhood has aggravated. Russian legislators have decided to compensate for the ban of foreign adoption by increasing payments to Russians who have chosen a paid form of child custody. This first led to an increase of the number of adoptions and then to an increase in cases of orphans being returned back to children's institutions. Over the past 9 years, international adoption of Russian children has decreased by 10 times. You can ask how that all is connected to Ukraine. When they annexed Crimea, they immediately began to apply the law in this territory. So all the children in Crimea who were waiting for the international adoption also lost their families. The same thing happened to the kids in Donbass. And now they literally steal orphans from the occupied territories. The Russian Commissioner for Children's Rights has already declared that she adopted a kid from Ukraine, but it basically means stealing. Moscow just grabs Ukrainian kids and makes them Russians. Kyiv is accusing Russia of kidnapping thousands of children and taking them into Russian-controlled territory. Ukrainians had to hide those children. For example, in the beginning of the war, staff at the Children's Regional Hospital in Kherson city began fabricating orphans' medical records to make it appear like they were too ill to move. At least 1,000 children were seized from schools and orphanages in the Kherson region during Russia's 8-month occupation of the area, say local authorities. If those orphans are in Russia, they will never get a chance to be adopted to other countries. I have already mentioned that the official name of that law is Dima Yakovlev law, by the name of the adopted kid who died in Virginia in 2008 because he has been left alone for 9 hours in the car. But people in Russia came up with the informal name for that act, the Scoundrel law. They call scoundrels those who vote for that law in Duma. The bill's final reading was opposed only by 8 members. All the rest voted for banning the international adoption. How cruel do you have to be to punish children? Maybe that was the point of no return for Russia. I'm Ksenia Turkova. Please share this and subscribe.